What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. I know I haven't posted in a little bit, in a couple weeks, but I've just been very busy. But today, to be honest, I think I really felt like I needed to make a video, especially with like a lot of comments I've been receiving on my videos lately. And I just want to get down to it. So a lot of people just that come to my videos, they always come in and they say, hey, you know, I'm really considering the surgery. I want to get the surgery. And I understand where they're coming from, right? Because when symptoms like GERD hit you, and symptoms with, you know, the acid reflux, and in my case, regurgitation issues, I understand what they mean that they want the surgery, right? Because they don't want to have that in their life. They want their new lifestyle. They want their life back. But one of the most important things that I think people forget to understand, and maybe fail to understand sometimes, is that surgery is a big deal, right? Especially with surgery that has to do with changing or tempering your anatomy. Is, you know, what you're really doing is that you're changing one symptom for another, right? And what I mean by that is that, for example, I'm gonna give you an example from my case, right? So I went into surgery thinking that, hey, you know, I'm gonna have the knee fundoplication surgery for, you know, for the rest of my life. I'll be back to normal, right? That was at least my expectations. Like, hey, you know, I did my research. I feel like this is my best option. And from the time I got sick to the time I did my surgery, it was around a 13 month difference, right? So a year and a month, because I got sick on June 2016 and I had the surgery in July 2017, right? So I feel like that was my best option, but I didn't understand at that moment, and nobody told me, right, or advised me that, hey, you know, the side effects could be as big as your problem now, or if not even bigger. So that's something that you really have to take into consideration. And like I said, and for my case, the first couple months I was, you know, after surgery, I was doing well. You know, I was doing a little bit better. There's more things that I could do. The foods I was eating, you know, I was able to eat more fried food back again, like my normal self. The thing is, though, I never went back to normal. I never went back to what I was prior to any symptom. So, and not just that, but I added to my symptoms. I got bloated now because of the surgery. Every time I ate, I would feel full and just gassy. And for some reason, the knee fundoplication, when they wrap your stomach around your esophagus, you can't really burp, right? A lot of people suffering from not burping. I've read of people that actually do burp, right? But when you get that bloatiness and you get, you know, you're one of those people that can't burp, you're just bloated, and the only way that air can come out is the other way around. So when you're around family, when you're around friends, that's a big deal, right? Because sometimes it's a little embarrassing, and I get it. And sometimes you don't even eat all your food because you're so bloated. Your body feels full, your stomach feels full, and you don't enjoy the meal as you should, right? So that was one of my symptoms and one of, you know, my cases. And also I will have pain whenever I ate, right where my appendix is at. And for a while I thought I had some sort of like appendicitis, right? And I had to go get that checked, but it turned out that it was just inflammation, and it was all due to the surgery. Does that make sense? So I traded a little bit of the GERD issues for more symptoms that I've never had in my life. And I want people to understand that that's a big deal before considering any surgery for GERD, whether it's the LINX or the knee fundoplication, right? The TIF. Make sure you do your research. Make sure you exhaust all your options. And when I mean all your options, I'm referring to like all the natural possibilities you can do. And I mean from chiropractic work, especially chiropractors that practice kinesiology. I'm referring to functional medicine, which is really great for you, and holistic doctors that just work naturally. And I understand that it's expensive, but then again, surgery is expensive as well. And surgery could end up being even more expensive down the line, right? So I want to get people just to advise them on to really consider, you know, your routes, your options as much as you can. Um, do as much research as much as you can, because surgery is a big deal, man. It's a really big. And in the case of my Neeson, I didn't understand at that point that surgery was gonna tamper a lot with my anatomy. You know, I knew your stomach was gonna get wrapped around my esophagus, but I didn't know how big that was to your body. You're changing your anatomy from the inside, and that's big to your body, and it could take months to years to even get adjusted to that, right? And that's if the surgery actually worked for you to its fullest. But there's a lot of people that 10 years later, they will have to get the surgery redone, or 20 years later, right? And this is not for me to scare you guys, but this is for me just to give you information. So to let you know what I never had, to let you know the information that I never had, especially from people with experience, and people in my channel, they know the things that I've gone through. They know, you know, they understand my journey. So I hope that, you know, this comes off as someone that's trying to like help you guys, and I'm coming from a good place, right? I don't wanna, you know, poo-poo surgery, because, you know, I had 2 of them. Of course, I got to the point where I had to make the decision of like, hey, surgery is what I need, and that's what I require, right? So, you know, I exhausted as much options as I could. But to be honest, even in my case, I could have waited a little bit longer. I could have waited and maybe try a little bit more things in life. But I just didn't want to, you know, have GERD anymore, right? I don't want to, you know, suffer from not sleeping well, or the acid reflux coming back, and the food content coming back into my esophagus, and even the heart racing issues that I have. Like, I get it. I get people. I promise you, I understand you. But just take it from me that sometimes patience, is really good to have, and something at that moment that I lacked of, because what you think when you think about surgery, it's like I'm going back to my normal self. You know, I'm gonna go back to my regular lifestyle, and a lot of the times that's not the case, because again, you're trading one symptom to another. And that's one of the best ways I can put it for you, because somebody in my comments said that one time. He said, listen, Carlos, man, you know, people don't understand that they're trading one symptom for another, and that symptom that they're trading for could be worse than whatever they had it prior to the surgery. So I hope that you guys can just understand that, you know, surgery is a big deal, and there's a lot of possibilities and a lot of routes the surgery can take you. Then again, though, there are people that, you know, surgery was everything for them. It saved their life. And I believe them, and I respect that, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. You know, at some point I wish that could have been me, right? And you know, they're 10 years down the line, 20 years, and you know, their Neeson hasn't failed. They're still eating whatever they want now. They suffer from minor side effects and stuff, but you know, the positive outcome was greater than the negative one. So, and that's awesome, you know, and that's great. But for the people that always come to my comment section and to my channel, I just want to, you know, emphasize that, you know, try to go and exhaust the natural route, the holistic route, the more just natural and calm route. Take that slow pace for your health, because if you're suffering from GERD, that's something that's just, it's not gonna go away without you taking action. It's just not. You know, it's just not. You're not just gonna go to sleep one night and it's gonna go away. So, if anything, GERD is your new life, but you can make that a positive and change that into a positive lifestyle, right? Because from my understanding with my body and people that I've talked to with any health issues, when your body's telling you something, you should learn how to read it. And your body always tells you something. Your GERD didn't come, or your reflux, or your acid reflux, or your regurgitation issues didn't just come, you know, one day to the other, and they were like, oh, it's here. You were doing something. You might have felt something in your body, but you ignored it, right? My point, right? For me, I had acid reflux for like a couple months before it really hit me. But I just ignored it. I didn't take too much time and attention. I didn't pay too much attention to that, because whatever I was doing with my life, it was bigger than just that. But your body tells you something and it talks to you, and you have to learn how to read it. And that's what I've really become pretty good at, and with my body. And it's something that I want to give to you guys, especially in my channel, or even if you're not part of my channel, or what I consider my community. Take that and take it to the bank and believe what I'm telling you. And hopefully you take my advice, because I'm coming from a clean and a good-hearted place, just trying to help as many people as I can not suffer what I went through and what I'm going through currently, right? So if anything though, if it comes down to surgery, if it comes down to this is my last option, I can't do it anymore, then you know what, go for it, because you did everything you could naturally. And to me, I feel like that's the best route to take. And I wish I would have taken that route. I wish I would have had someone that would have told me that, but I never did. And then again, it's also my fault, because I wasn't patient enough. So hopefully you take something from this video. I wanted just to talk about the surgery and the importance of it and how big it is. Outweigh your options. And if it comes down to it, and if you feel like you're able to work more naturally, then that's great. But if you feel like surgery is also the only option for you, and you did everything you could, then that's also great. Because I know what surgery is. I've been there. I've gone through it. And if you have any questions or concerns, please comment. Any questions, any concerns, comment. I always answer. Basically to everybody, guys. My goal when I made this channel is to just help people, give them advice, and you know what? To some point, just give them hope, right? Because in life, I really believe that the last thing a person should lose is hope. Once you give somebody hope, that can change their life. And I know how important it is, because with me, I found hope in God, and that might not be for everybody, right? But for me, at least from my experience, and I before I opened my channel and before I started making all these videos, I said, God, look, listen, I want to help people. I don't want people, if I can save people from going through this route that I went through and all these struggles that I've gone through, I will, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I got hope, man, and this is why I keep going. I keep striving every day. And I have my down days. I have days where I'm just like, man, this sucks. Is it even worth it? But I let that day go. I sleep it off, and I gotta keep grinding again, right? Because it's only fair to me. It's fair to my my family, and hopefully you got positive vibes from this video, man. I really appreciate you guys. Also, if you see any comments on my YouTube channel, and you see someone that caught your interest or something, make sure you comment on their section as well, right? Because they will talk to you. I'm telling you, this is a whole community. I am proud of myself for putting this together, and hopefully you guys can be proud too. There's a place you can come, and you will find people that relate to you and relate to your symptoms. You guys are not alone. There's a lot of people here in this, and a lot of people don't speak about it, but hopefully you find some comfort and come into my channel, and hopefully one day we are all healed, right? Because just like God said in the Bible, by his stripes we are all healed, and I really believe that. So you guys have a blessed one. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking the channel and the video. So thank you guys, much love, peace and love, baby.